As we sit here in the comfort of our very own lockdown, the good people of NASA are dicking about on Mars with a remote control helicopter. But don't fret, you can go one better by terraforming Mars in, well, Terraforming Mars. This game has been firmly lodged in Board Game Geek's hotness list since it was released back in the halcyon days of 2016, when we only had Brexit and the Tories to worry about. It also sits fourth on their greatest games of all time list. Is it really that good? Well, let's find out.
Terraforming Mars sees you and your friends playing as interstellar corporations, working to turn this dusty, cold, hostile son of a bitch into an idyllic planet of nuclear test sites, algae, and dogs. You'll complete unique, ambitious projects from this hefty deck, more about those later. You will create oceans, slam asteroids into the surface of Mars to increase the temperature, and plant lush forests to make the air breathable. Most of these actions in particular will advance these tracks, showing you how close Mars is to becoming a habitable planet.
This may give the impression of a semi-cooperative edge to the game, and that is not the case. These tracks, as well as unlocking some bonuses for you along the way, act as the game clock. Once Mars is terraformed, terraforming Mars is over, obviously. This is not about amicably. This is not a game about furthering humanity's greatness in an amicable way. This is about doing it for personal gain. How do you become the best on Mars? Well, let's take a look at what you do on your actual turn.
On your turn, you'll take one or two actions. The standard actions printed on the board allow you to build power stations, construct cities, summon asteroids or do a spot of gardening, etc. All nice space stuff that, providing you have enough money, allows you to advance the terraforming tracks and boost some of your resource production at any point throughout the game. The real meat of the game, though, is in the project deck.
Each unique card in this ridiculous deck allows you to do something that will help shape Mars in your image, be it create a mining operation to help boost your steel production, or do something epic like building a giant space mirror. One of the cards is also just bears. Space bears. It's great!
Each generation, the name for a round in this game, each player takes actions until they pass. They then have to sit out the rest of the round. Play then goes on until everybody passes. But the cool thing here is you choose to take one or two actions. So you can drag out your plays, waiting to see what your opponents do before committing to something big. Or you could just wait long enough for the chumps sitting around the table to increase Mars' temperature just enough for you to push it past one of the bonus markers on your turn and trigger a nice chain of events that net you some sweet bonuses. This is great. It makes not only what you do important, but when you do them. Allowing players that flexibility with their action economy is fantastic.
Some projects require certain planetary conditions to be met. For example, the hydroelectric dam requires 3 ocean tiles to be placed on the board. Now, you could do that yourself, gradually moistening Mars as you go, or you could wait for your friends to do that for you and take advantage of their hard work and exploit it. It's a nifty piece of design. You're not only trying to build an ecosystem, you exist in one, and the symbiotic relationship you develop between you and your rivals is essential to securing victory.
We've not spoken much about the big red lad himself, have we? This central board is where you'll build your cities, grow forests and form oceans. Doing so will generally score you a small bonus of resources and give you a points boost during final scoring. However, while it is satisfying to watch this go from a blank red slate to a lush world over the course of a game, most of your attention won't be on here when you're not planning your projects. It'll be on your personal player board. This is where you'll keep track of your current stash of resources as well as your resource production. Completing various projects will allow you to slide these cubes up, providing you with ever-increasing wealth to fulfill your ambitions, and, like all good engine-building games, there's a lot of joy to be had in your plans coming to fruition in a tactile, tangible way. And if you play the long game, which you should do, this feeling is so much richer as you start off with 0 production and gradually claw your way to generating a metric fuck-ton of steel, titanium and cash every turn.
However, these player boards are very easily knocked, meaning that your current production rate and balance of your resources can quite easily be foobarred. We actually had an incident involving this in every single game we've played of Terraforming Mars, so much so that we now play with the player boards at arm's length. Bizarrely, designer Jason... he's not called Jason, why do we keep calling him Jason? Interestingly, designer Jacob Fryxelius nailed it.
Oh wow. You just wrote the short for this.
I completely forgot what I was going to say after that. Bizarrely, designer Jacob Fryxelius claims that this was never an issue during testing.
Bullshit.
Another issue with Terraforming Mars is that towards the end of a 2-player game, you have so many built projects in front of you that the theme just washes away. You're reduced to comparing tags and numbers on cards. You're not constructing buildings and feats of spacefaring anymore. You're just playing cards that have a picture of Jupiter on them because you know you'll net some small bonus points later. It becomes about doing grand, ridiculous things just because you can, rather than because you believe in the process.
Okay, let's wrap this up, shall we? Terraforming Mars is a bloody good board game. If you're into science, you'll absolutely devour this theme. And if the theme doesn't grab you, the resource management, strategic planning, and engine building probably will. Add to that the longevity provided by the different strategies and building types to focus on, the different companies you can play as with their own unique special abilities, the mini expansion included in the base game with a ton more projects and approximately 3 million other paid expansions. Terraforming Mars is a game that you should definitely add to your collection. I've not covered everything here and it may be a bit complex for people new to the hobby, but Dysart definitely recommends Terraforming Mars. So there we go. I was going to plan a skit for the end screen for this video, but I just couldn't be arsed.